Thank you for joining me as I try to draw another character that I see in my head every day. This time we'll be drawing Vayne, the protagonist of the creation of all. Alright, a little bit about the character. He's 6'1". His favorite color is green. His favorite food used to be French fries, but now he'll say it's tuna because his girlfriend had an over-the-top reaction to when she saw him eating it, since she hates it. And he thought that was really cute of her to do, so now he'll say his favorite food is tuna. Vane is naturally altruistic. He's always been able to sympathize with others and feel their pain to an extent. His father is a truck driver, and his mother works in the post office. He has an older brother who's estranged and doesn't come up much. He has a younger sister who likes to study various languages and is on a foreign exchange trip. He has a girlfriend from a wealthy family who is very rebellious towards her parents. Most of these characters will probably never be seen or come up throughout the story. Ugh, I'm so bad at drawing hair. Let me try that again. Yeah, I can either just draw lines for hair or I do that spiky clump anime look for hair. That's all I know how to do. So let's try this one more time. So I've paid illustrators to draw a vein for the cover and the back cover, and on the front, one of the details they usually get wrong is when they do the bands on his face. When it goes up to under his eye, they always do it at like a sharp angle when it's really just supposed to be a curve. The white marks on his face, I was never really sure what to call them in the book. I mean, they have a name, but none of the characters know what they are at this time, so I just referred to them as bands. I can really think of what else to call them. You know, when I first created this character, I had him in this completely different outfit, and a few years ago I changed it, and I'm glad I did because that original clothes I had him in were ridiculous looking, and I can't believe I didn't notice it for so long. Alright, that's a little better, I guess, but I'm gonna try to do just the head right now. I'm usually better at drawing the head when it's like at a at like a left angle for some reason. So let's see how I can do here. Yeah, that looks alright, I think. I mean, not great, but I mean, I don't think it's terrible. But now things are probably gonna get worse because I'm gonna try to draw them from the front. That's always a bit harder. I've rarely ever drawn face forward before because it's really difficult, but I think this is coming along all right. And then I ruined it with that poofy hair, so let's move on. All right, so I really wanted to explain his ear. He's got these two earlobes down there, and this is the ear all crivitals have. Vane does share some features with these creatures, these crivitals, and his ears are one of them. There'll be more details about these ears later on in the story, and in all honesty, I've never really liked the long pointy ear look, and yet for some reason I ended up using it anyway. Okay, now I want to go over his hands. I explained in the chapter one how the bands on his hands run down his fingers, but just want to make sure people understand and give them a clear image of what that looks like. Even though my skills, I can't really give a perfectly clear image, but I'm going to do the best I can here. So as you can see, the bands run down the top and bottoms of his arms and onto his hands, and then they split into these paths, forming the claws on his fingertips. And that's pretty much all there is to it. And I mean, other people have had a hard time understanding what I was trying to talk about. Anyway, this was the top of his hand, and now I'm going to do the bottom of his hand to show you that as well. Yeah, I missed recording the start of this, but this is the bottom of the hand, and as you can see, the path that runs from the wrist to the top of the thumb, that's on the bottom of the arm, and the other path on the thumb comes from the top of the hand. It doesn't really look good here, but that's because of me. If I mean that line could be moved, that line from the thumb could be moved up a bit, sort of like that. So just to be clear, the band running down the bottom of the thumb is curving up to the top of the hand. It's not really connecting to all that white on the palm of his hand. Honestly, I think I drew too much white on the palm there. There shouldn't really be that much. Probably have to fix that later. But yeah, that's basically his hands. Alright, here's a little something extra. I wanted to draw the symbol of Seitan. This is the symbol Vane saw on the wall in the airship. This is the symbol of the Seitan nation and empire. Basically, they had a different one, but they changed it many long years ago when they came into power. This symbol is basically just them bragging when you understand what it means. It'll be explained later on in the story, but I just wanted to make sure everyone could see what this is. I mean, I wasn't able to draw it perfectly, but I mean, that's basically it right there. And I wanted to close by showing some drawings other people have done of Vayne. This is a full body drawing someone else drew a long time ago. I've forgotten their name, and I'm really sorry about that. I have a Quigo one of these too, and that's about it. All right, here's another one, and I know I didn't like how they drew Vayne's face here, his mouth. It looks really strange, but um, I, I I couldn't get them to change it. I had to make so many other changes. I couldn't keep asking them to make more. In case you're wondering about his shoulder pads, the edges of it are made of a solid matter, but it does bend upwards when he raises his arms, and the stuff in between those is like not a solid substance. It'll be his clothes will be explained later on. And lastly, there's this headshot. I really like this. I think this is a pretty good look for him. Pretty much the best his face has ever been drawn, at least straightforward before. I have one of these for Quiga and one for that other character who's on the back of the cover, who's like with a black cloak. I have her too. And that should do it for this try to draw video. If you have any other questions about Vayne or his appearance, just let me know in the comments. And we'll see you next time for chapter 2.